Hello and welcome to the Brothers Slim. This is Cam, and we are here with a little holiday surprise today. This is, I'll see if I can get the full title of this right. So, this is Into the Unknown's Tabletop Simulator demo for Aeon Trespass 12 Sins of Heracles Learn to Play. Nailed it, I think. Heck yes. So, stoked on this. I am going to be rusty as heck. I haven't played any TTS since Enormity months ago. Also haven't played Aeon Trespass since almost a year ago. So, Learn to Play is going to be perfect. Cannot wait to dive into Cycle 2. It's been too long. Okay, so what do we have here? Cool, cool. So, Roar, type 2 with the shark on his back. Very cool. Nameless child, it's our job to raise children who will make the world a little less cruel and heartless. Heck yeah. Okay, battle abilities, stand up, put your mini in the normal position and discard the knockdown. Cool, cool. So that's pretty normal. Then we have Torrent as type 2, also is a, unwanted child instead of... So we got Nameless Child, Unwanted Child. No man should bring children into the world who is unwilling to persevere to the end in their nature and education. So we got Reflex. Abandoned Child as Shiver. Children are the living messages we send to a time we will not see. Ooh, I like that. Get the blown up art there too. Creepy and cool. This one gives me very much Attack on Titan vibes. Cool, cool. Onwards we go. Oh, I flipped this one over earlier. Innocent Child as Tremor. Love children especially, for they are too sinless. They live to soften and purify our hearts, and, as it were, to guide us. Nice. Classic ITU with some fun little written isms. Okay, cool, cool. Me likey. I did flip these over before briefly just to see what they were, and I believe that they are all... Guess we got story code and some different rules. I think it's the same for... Yeah, they're all different. So it leads to... Cool, so I'm assuming that'll be relevant as we learn to play. This is the normal... No, never mind. This is the new map with the tree in the middle. I think this is actually updated from what we saw in the campaign too. So fun. Oh, we got some green and some blood splatter. Very Sins of Heracles. Love it. Don't actually know who we have on the map here. So if anyone is up on their ancient history, please let me know. Cool nonetheless. Do you like the updated map? All right, let's take a look. This logo is also so freaking sick. I don't know if I've said before, but like, good tattoo. Okay, let's see. Okay, so this art was shown off in the update today. Contents: a Stranding tutorial battle, battle aftermath, and chapters 0 through 4, and then another battle. Stranding. And so we do have the audio. I think what I'll do, I did this for Enormity, is just because reading it, it's at like a very well good pace is my bet. So we'll do a little sample of what the audio sounds like, and then I'll probably just read through it at a more expedient pace, and you'll just have to bear with my lack of Greek pronunciation.
They say each unhappy family is unhappy in its own way. There's a certain nobility in the notion, a sense of being special, something to hold close when all else is taken away. His impressive frame slowly coalesces from the cool darkness. You can only watch. As he walks toward you, past you, away from you, a sinking feeling envelops you, though you still can't grasp the full shape of it. It will be years, decades for some of you, of restless nights and nameless longing and self-reflection before you name this fear, overwhelming, alienating, unbearable, and realize it was not always a part of you, but rather inflicted upon you, forcefully, unjustly, cruelly, on that very day. The day of...
Cool. Yep, that sounds great. Extremely ambient and very well read. One thing I want to do when I have time, and frankly, I would love to do this once I've actually beaten the whole game, but I think that's going to be too far from now, is do like a more ambient, immersive story kind of quasi playthrough when it's mostly just the story, using the app for the narration because it's so well done, and I haven't experienced it yet. Unfortunately, I don't have the video editing chops, nor realistically the time to make it look pretty. But yeah, something I want to do. And get to explore more of the story of other options and such as well. But let's continue. So, the day of stranding, when your father left, maybe he left without a word, under the cover of night like a thief. Maybe he stormed out, yelling. Maybe your mother tried to stop him. Maybe there was a row, harsh words, broken things. Maybe she cried. Or maybe she was already numb from the pain or abuse and let him go without a word. Or maybe there was confusion, a fog of thoughts. Why? Why was this happening? Why was he leaving? Was it your fault? Did you do something wrong? Were you not good enough for him? The demigod hero, the demigod hero Heracles, scion and heir of Zeus. Daddy, don't go, one of you yelps, holding back the tears. He stops at the edge of darkness, his right foot on some invisible doorstep. He turns his head slightly, as if touching by a sliver of hesitation. His pitiless gaze catches a glimpse of you. Don't mind me, I've got my microphone is also in my ear, and so I can hear myself talking, and it's tripping me. I just had to pull that out. His pitiless gaze catches a glimpse of you, watching him intently, distressingly. From the top of the stairs, or peeking out from behind your mother's skirt, he judges you, finds you lacking. Please! He leaves, abandons you. That is an echo of a memory locked inside long ago, but this cool darkness is not that. This is now. You have all grown up, unlocked the awesome power of his tainted heritage, a power to become a titan, strength to impose your will, to right all wrongs. Here, you can stop him, if you're strong enough. Father! As your body tears itself into pieces to become a titan, as the soul-rending agony fortifies your mind for the struggle ahead, that unbearable fear of childhood transforms, too, into uncontainable rage. Whatever it takes, whatever it costs, you will stop him. He will listen. Or failing that, he will pay for all the anguish he's caused you, your siblings, your mother. All unhappy families are alike, their misery common, mundane. What makes you special is the tremendous power of a titan. You will use it. Cool. Very cool indeed. I freaking love Marston's writing, and I think there's another writer in this one too, but yeah, Marston's writing is extremely evocative. Welcome to the Aeon Trespass Sins of Heracles. This Learn to Play book has been designed to ease you into the game's various mechanics and intricacies. Whenever you see a box like this, you will know a major element of the game is being introduced or expanded upon. If a specific rule is not found here, it will be in the rule book. Aeon Trespass Sins of Heracles is a game about adventures and fierce battles with giant monsters you'll have on your way to finding your no-good father Heracles. It's a cooperative board game experience for 1 to 4 players, played over multiple sessions, making up a campaign called a season, e.g. summer or winter. It combines elements of adventure. Okay, I don't need to read all this. If anyone's here, you probably know what this is, and I do too. So on the next pages, you'll find instructions on how to prepare a battle, and slowly move from there. Okay, cool. So that is very basic. And then we have I wonder if I can actually, let's see, does this look better? Oops. A little bit too small, actually. So we will do this. Chronicling your exploits, the Oikos sheet. So this is your family character sheet. I don't think that's really meant to be read. So this is an enormous game, steeped with hidden lore, secrets, and bespoke mechanics. As such, tracking everything with static components won't do. You'll be specially designated paper sheets and some pencils to chronicle your adventures. Oikos means home, or family, and Oikos sheet serves as the main means of tracking your campaign progress, resources, reputation, available titans, and other campaign stats. Whenever you gain or lose any of these stats, adjust their value in the corresponding section of the sheet. The Oikos is your flesh and blood. You may lose a battle, you may die as titans, you may even lose a Heracles. Heracles is your player character. But if you lose the Oikos, you're done. Take a summer Oikos sheet. You'll find a photocopy ready on the back of the storybook or on our website. Then proceed to the tutorial battle on the next page. I don't know if we have an Oikos sheet. This is probably because it's actually written out to be the actual final copy. Proceed to the battle on the next page. What is this? So Heraclidi, Titans, Titan forms, and primordials. You play as Heraclidi, singular, Heraclides, The abandoned children of Heracles. Notably, you all have different mothers. Your father's promiscuity is legendary. So you are half siblings. Each Heraclides is represented by a tarot-sized card and printed Heraclides sheet. Heracles' curse allows you to turn into monstrous giants called Titans. So each of you has a basic Titan form, the type 2. But as the campaign progresses, you'll unlock many more. I'm pretty sure we get it from eating Gaia forms, or I can't remember specifically. But cores? I think we eat the cores. I think that's what it is. Gaia forms are basically lives, not the cores. Each Titan form will be represented by a separate Titan sheet. For simplicity's sake, your Titan forms will be referred to as Titans throughout the rules, unless there's a distinction that's important. You can take the form of many types of Titans, but you are stuck with your Heraclides until they retire or possibly die. During this Learn to Play, as well as the start of each subsequent new campaign, you will choose which Heraclides to play. You will then take the appropriate Heraclides art card and sheet. Primordials are the sworn enemy of all mortals. They appeared after the Eschaton, a cataclysmic event that wiped out their Olympian gods, and are hellbent on destroying what's left. The primordials of 12 sons of Heracles are tied to Heracles himself, his deeds, his labors, and of course, his sins. These are unspeakable monsters, larger than even the Titans. There is no negotiating with them. It is either your victory or extinction. No pressure. Cool, very cool. I think I'm going to read through this, but I'll probably just shush up and read through it and edit that bit out. Also, ooh, green terrain looks nice. Me likey. Actually, scratch that. We do have a little bit of story here, so I think I will read through the parts that are relevant and then read through the rest of my own time. Your father, he's right there. You were a powerless child when he left, not so much now. Now you are Titans. Now you can stop him. Somehow, in this dark void, you and your half-siblings have encountered your father. Is this a dream, a nightmare, a vision? Who cares? He's exactly how you remember him. Big and muscular, with an arrogant smirk on his stone face and an aura of violence about him. Now's your chance to dispel that aura and wipe off that smirk. Cool, cool. Anything else of relevance here? No other story there. All right, cool. So I'm going to read through this and then we'll skip ahead here. Okay, all that makes sense. Let's go ahead and spawn this in. Come on, computer, don't blow up on me. Pretty please. Cool, looking good. Okay, I'm probably just gonna edit this out while it loads. There we go, lovely. Okay, so we got our big bad here. Also, as an aside, reading through this, everything was basically the same as Odyssey, so figured I'd read through it, but the only fun kind of difference I noticed is these. Opening tokens are blue, break tokens are red. Commented on it in the most recent update, but I like that. I like that a lot, because the white and black tokens look great. They're very aesthetically pleasing, but they kind of blur together, so having the color distinction is lovely. I also really like this green. That's nice. Okay, so is that how they're supposed to be set up? Apparently. Interesting. Okay, cool. Well, what do we have here? So this is our Oikos. Just looking at it because I haven't actually had a chance to yet. So we got the Boeotians, indifference or reputation. That's fun. This is the family Triskelion. So we could let us know what's going on with Doom. Guys in Bond. No idea what those are. I guess it's probably similar to like Hull and Crew from Odyssey. That's my guess. Bones, hide, organs. How very kingdom death of you. Exotic is unknown and forbidden. Pygmalion scenes, Sisyphus tears. Sisyphus tears lets you redo a fight. And Pygmalion seeds. I have no idea. Cool. Oikos knowledge, mortal toil. Gaia seeds are also lives for your titans too. Fun, very fun. So I think, I don't know if we're supposed to click this. I think we were, so we'll click it for now. Pretty sure we were at least. Let's see. We'll leave it unclicked. Okay, so AI and BP, that's fun. New rules. Here are some new or changed rules you will need during the Learn to Play. In the full game, you'll find these in the new rulebook. If you need additional rules or you are missing some definitions, please refer to the ATO rulebook, which we have right here. Nice. It's gonna be like, do I need to get it out? Fun. Okay, so I think the escalation chart, so it's obviously changed because it's here, and then the judgment definition too. So we knew about that. Hatred, courage, fear, knockdown. I'm curious why those are out, but that's all good. Only in the full game, only in the full game, only in the full game. Ooh, some fun gear. Dang, that shield looks cool. Flint Catar, Flint Sling, Siren Buckler. I'm waiting for the day that we have like a full Siren Primordial. Okay, that's all good. Oh, we even have a little dice tray over here. That's fun. And then we got this guy. So Strange Tree, Obstacle, Obscuring, Indestructible. Original Sin. So we need 7 up to wound him. He's got infinite movement and only 6 vitality. Uncontrolled anger and original sin. So original sin, stranding. Demigod moves 3 spaces forward in a straight line, then turns to face the most titans. If it moves through or ends its move on a titan, that titan does not suffer crash. Oh, that's nice. Okay, and so what do these things mean again? I can't remember what any of these symbols mean, but that's okay. The anger in your veins. This should be the routine. Lose I assume, vitality. Random Titan draws a Kratos card. Dispassionate Slap. Brutal. So 2 dice needing a 10 up. Also brutal. This is a trauma draw, which would be the usual for doing danger anyways, so fun. Strange Tree, Obstacle, Obscuring, Indestructible. Do we not have any other terrain cards? Doesn't look like it. What do you have here? AI and BP, Uncontrollable Anger, Additional Setup. Place this card on the wound stack space. After deal a wound, always move this card to the top of the wound stack. Each time Demigod gains a wound, Double Wound is treated as 2. Place a token on this card. After resolving the current action, if there are 3 more tokens on this card, discard all tokens and perform signature. Okay, that's fun stuff. All right. So just like the Odyssey Learn to Play, there are just fists, which are super basic and I don't necessarily love. But one difference is these different abilities. So Roar has Stand Up. And then we have Reflex for Torrent. Shiver has +2 Fury, which is just a stat. That isn't going to have an effect for us here. And Dash. If you're not a target or attacker, after the Primordial moves away from you, if there's a reaction during this step, move up to 2 spaces in a straight line. This movement must bring you closer to the Primordial. That's fun. I think that might be new. That is the priority target token. Okay, so you are about to start your first tutorial battle in Aeon Trespass 12 Sins of Heracles. Follow the instructions in the tutorial closely, as it... I probably should have started going into this instead of cruising through things, but okay. Right, because it's designed in a way that will allow you to learn about the various aspects of the game in a step-by-step manner. What's more, the first round of battle will be scripted, just to help you get the hang of things. Spaces, speeds, also have speed. However, in most cases, it's unlimited. That's new, in most cases at least. This means we'll always move however many spaces it takes to reach its target. In the rare cases, that's very interesting because in Odyssey, out of range evades was a big thing. Very, very curious. There may be times when you're drawing a path from a primordial targeting and 2 or more paths turn out to be equally short. In that case, it's up to you. Take the one that hurts less. Opposite of Kingdom Death there. All right, so primordial rounds. Each primordial is represented by a large primordial sheet that includes all of their basic information about a given primordial. This primordial, Heracles, has only one level stat line. That for level 0, shown on the diagram below. How to battle. So primordial and titan rounds. Primordial generally goes first. Draw an AI and resolve it. During the Titan round, each Titan will take their turn. Yep, yep, yep. Heracles acts first. Draw the top card from the AI deck to determine its behavior. Huzzah. So I'm assuming that that is the card that we have. Forceful shove, yes. Okay, so include the following elements: type, cards level, evasion stats, blog, targeting, moving and attack. Levels and evolution. Each regular primordial has an evolution track. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, level of the current battle. If a space share between primordials, yep, yep, yep. Each level is designated by a large numeral. As the primordial becomes stronger, not only does its basic attributes increase, but it also gains additional traits. These dramatically. Yes, remember to. Cool. It doesn't tell us to check anything, but that's okay. Let's resolve this attack step by step. Each primordial attack starts with determining its target. Look to the target area of the card, then check each command line. See if any Titan meets all the current criteria. As soon as you find such a line, stop and resolve it. So, attack the furthest Titan in front. We've rigged the direction so that all the Titans are in front. So which one is the furthest away? There seems to be exactly 2 Titans, 8 spaces away. And there are no obstacles, so there's no question of whether he can draw a line of sight. So I guess that's how you out of range evade just from not being in line of sight. But I'm assuming that also depends on various rules and such. Okay, so yeah, no target means it does its routine. 6 command lines. So I'm torn between reading through all this really carefully and just at a glance because I am familiar with the base game. I think I'm just gonna scan. Okay, so various targeting such, line of sight. Line passes through. Tremor does not have line of sight. I mean, I don't really care for reading through that really thoroughly right now. Alright, Forceful Shove is a regular attack. Unlimited speed. And check and see if anyone has the priority target, in which case I think we do here. Okay, just skipped ahead a little bit. So Roar and Titan are gonna get Roar and Torrent are gonna get knocked down. It's a knockdown falling card, one of the banes of my existence in cycle 1. This is Roar, so we'll put that just there. And can I knock you over? Hey, that works. Cool. And danger by 1. This isn't a attack, so we shouldn't need to do a trauma draw for that. Unavoidable knockback. That's what this is. 5. Okay, next is Torrent. So Torrent has a reflex for the cost of 1 fate. Exhaust the card. Move a single space in any direction. Yeah, reflexes are crazy useful. And 90 degrees. So Torrent. There we go. Fate by 1. And then we're able to. This is blue, correct? Yeah, I'm assuming we'll just go boop. Abilities. Nice. Oh, I guess I'm supposed to actually go like that. We'll follow this as exactly as it's supposed to be. There we go. And then he would be just like that. I wonder, can we... No. The sculpts do look pretty good in here. All right, well, that is done. All done. Great, let's continue moving Heracles all the way to Tremor. It's time for a beating. You do not roll to see if the attack hits. You defend. Huzzah. Rolls a number of d10s equal to the evasion dice, which is 3. To defend against forceful shove, you must roll 3 dice. That's bad news. Each roll is a potential hit. 3 dice, 9 plus. Let's go ahead and do that. So we have... Where's the d10s? Can I draw multiple? No. Go 1, 2, 3. Huzzah! 2 ones on our first roll of the game. Beautiful. Okay, let's keep going with this though and see what it wants us to do. Now roll all 3 dice and compare your results to the evasion difficulty, which is 9. So that's going to be 3 misses. So everything less is a hit. You'll gain equipment. Yep, yep, yep. Don't worry if your roll wasn't the best. You may re-roll. Again, I don't think it would be worthwhile because the chances of getting 9 up is few. Fate is precious, as they say here. If it was 3 or higher at the beginning of the attack, you would have had to roll additional evasion die. Yes, yes, yes. If you roll at least 1 hit, you must resolve all attack effects on the AI card. 1 danger for each hit. In other words, you must raise your danger by the Triskelion by 1 for each hit. There's also a trauma draw symbol next to the attack effect after gaining danger. You must draw trauma. C14. Okay, well, we're going to jump ahead to 14. And this was red, which, oh, nice. We got the color here. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3 danger. And that should be minor, but let's take a, oh, how fun. Nice. Oh, that's sweet. I like that. It's marking out where we are. All right, so a minor trauma. I guess we should probably read the rulebook just in case. Triskelion, trauma, instantaneous, while others stick with you. Not the worst that could happen. What's the worst that can happen? Yeah, Obal's 50-50% chance. I'm kind of curious with the symbol here because as there's a trauma draw symbol next to the attack, after gaining, I kind of think that might mean there's the possibility of gaining danger without having to do a trauma draw, which is also new. Okay, well. Okay, your card draw is Kratos Whisper. Well, let's go ahead and grab that. That is not the one that we're looking to draw. Okay, I think what we'll do is... Alright, so gain a rage value, and then also gain a hubris, so a universal token. Let's do that. So rage is nice. What is the universal token? There we go. So that is for hubris. I shall try to remember that. Do this each time you gain hubris. Whenever you gain rage, you must compare it to the rage level of the Titan with a priority target. If you're higher, you gain it, so that is also the same. All right, so let's grab that token. Huzzah! And we'll put it on Shiver there. Fun stuff. Was there any other things to be concerned with here? Knockback 5. Well, let's probably make that happen here. Dice, fate rerolls. Yeah, that is familiar, so we're just going to keep going ahead. Knockback 5 against the target, so 5 spaces to the right. Going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Knockback X. Yep. Titan round. Okay, during the Titan round, you are free to take your turns in any turn order you like, so as to make the best of the tactical situation at hand. Okay, again, I think I'm not going to read all this for the video, and I'm just going to read it myself and probably edit that out, because this is just basic ATO stuff. Cool. All right, so nice little reminder of things that we have. Shiver, am I looking at the wrong one here? Let's see. Okay, no, never mind. I confused myself. Roar, the person who was knocked down, is able to stand up. I thought that this one needed to stand up, which is silly. That's just knockback. Okay, so we shall flip ourselves over and spend a fate to do so. And now this card is tapped, so we'll flip you that way. And also discard knock down. Okay, cool. So we'll just do this with Roar. So we'll move 2 out of our 5 spaces, going 1, 2. Turn you around there also. It feels so much better using TTS with this new computer. It's like night and day. I'm actually really excited for that if they do any more enormity releases, because I feel like it'll be so different. Alrighty, Roo. So there we go. Let's flip this over. First attack. Alright, so declare your active weapon, which is obviously our fists, and raise our rage by 1. That's a very important step, which even by the end of cycle 1, me and the boys would still forget sometimes. So it's good to have friends that can remind you. Yeah, because of new abilities and all kinds of fun stuff. But you never want to go over 9. Never want to go over 9,000. So Moiros and Kratos table and modifier window. Good stuff. Yep. Kratos table example. All right. Check the attack die. Fists have a value of 2. You need to roll 2d10s. Remember to always use a crit die. I was accidentally using multiple crit die. Whoopsie daisies. So let's go ahead and put those ones back. Low key, I totally forgot that the crit die was a thing. Oops, that's the wrong dice. D10, please. There we go. So 2 dice plus 0 with that -1 dice if it's just one-handed, which we are not doing. Let's see, is there anything else to be curious about? Yeah. You can always reroll using fate. Yep. Natural 10 is a crit chance, while natural 1 is a crit miss. Yes. If you hit with at least 1 attack die, you draw a BP card to see which body part you hit. Yep. Full miss. Such a case, the attack immediately ends and you skip all further steps. Kratos tokens. Again, love the color that's been added to them. Each opening token adds +1 of the result of each attack roll, effectively lowering the hit value of the primordial break. Or the defense value, I think it's called. To Effectively making the primordial easier to wound. Yes, and clear all tokens at the end of every attack. Cool. So your basic chance to hit is 7 plus with 0 precision. They won't influence the roll either way. Hang on, did I miss something important there? Okay, so it's telling me that we have a opening token already, and I don't really know why, but that's okay. We'll just go with it. All right, so the breakdown here, so base to hit is 7 plus, 0 precision there. Apparently we have this opening token, so again, we'll just go with it. That's fine. And attacking with the blind spot is also a +1, so that brings us to a 5 plus to hit. We'll tip the balance even further in your favor to showcase additional mechanics. Let's say you rolled a 5 and an 8, hitting with both your attack dice. When you hit the primordial, you get a chance to use some of your abilities. This part of the attack sequence is called the first ability window. This happens after the attack roll, but before you draw BP card. You can find the complete stuff is the AT value. Okay, so, but not today. Broad Shoulders has an AT value of 2. Broad Shoulders, so I'll check this out here. Okay, so let's just say that we rolled that and hit. Okay, that sounds good. So AT value of 2. Single red power die, so power die per successful hit. You gain your Titan's power die per each attack. So that'll be 3 red die. Let's do it. Okay, so that would be a no, and we don't have a reroll yet. But again, let's just see what it's telling us to do here. For now, let's say you rolled your dice and got the following results. So that would be a 3. The dot, I still don't know what it is, but it's something with later unlock mechanics. And then this is, I can't remember the name. It's probably going to tell us though. Let's see, more power, more energy. There are some other effects that may increase your power dice pool. For example, look closely at your Kratos table. Every symbol is a potential. That's what it's called. I think it's potential. I know the comments remind me, but I think that's what it's called. Okay, provided you have enough break tokens. Yep, we don't have any break tokens, but with the mock die roll, we were able to do wound. Total power of 4, more than enough. You win a battle as soon as the number of wounds in the stack become equal to or greater than the primordial's wound value. It's just a figment of your imagination, or is it? So you only need to score 6 wounds to defeat it. 5 to go. If you had rolled a less total power than required, you would require to place the BP card in the discard pile. Power rerolls. Note that unlike the attack and evasion dice, power dice cannot be rerolled using fate. We do have rerolls through other means though. Alright, so response. What responses do we have here? Wound, gain a danger, and stranding. Just want to see the crit effects. Your attack leaves him staggered, and you seize the opportunity to press the advantage, perform a bonus attack. Fun. Okay, but that's not what we're doing right now. Okay, trying to wound. Yeah, so fail, wound, instincts. Finally, critical. If you get a crit chance, you ignore the stuff. Stranding is your first movement response. We'll move forward 3 spaces, then turn to face the direction with the most Titans. Okay. All right, so he's going to go 1, 2, 3, and then also turn to face the most Titans. There we go. And there was one other thing there too, which was gain a danger. So let's do that. No trauma draw symbol though. Specifically does not cause crash. Interesting. First, put the BP card on the wound stack. Notice there's a trait card, Uncontrollable Anger, there already. For now, just move it to the top of the wound stack. Don't worry, we'll get to that universal token. So we shift that there. We've done our one wound. We'll put that there. I wonder if I can... Be nice to not have you like right on top. Can I put you there? Sure. Okay. Okay, escalation. Let's look at that. So wounded car was a BP1. Shuffle a BP of a higher order, 2 or 3 into the BP deck. So that should be BP2. Shuffle, yep. And for the AI deck, search the AI deck and discard for one of the same. If you remove a card from the discard pile, there's the AI deck, and for the lowest level AI, oh, that's for the wrong one. Oh, I like that this is actually just, yeah, that is simplified, nice. So what we'll do is just yoink you, and then we'll grab a number 2, and, oops, not flip, shuffle you. Okay, at the end of the Titan deck, you have to clear all tokens. Don't worry, you get to leave your own. Second ability window, huzzah. Where's he facing? He's facing towards us, and we can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can get one person in the blind spot, and then he's going to move if we hit him again. So I think we're going to do a break. Just going to put it on this side. Okay, before we conclude, by the way, too, I think, telling this for myself, because what I'm probably going to do is all of this fight so far has just been to learn to play, and I'm pretty sure it'll open us up to do the fight after this, so I'll probably time get this, just so people that have actually played can skip past most of this learn to play stuff. Okay, read it now. So we have the 3 tokens. After deal a wound, always move this card to the top of the wound stack. Each time a demigod gains a wound, place a token on this card. After resolving the current action, if there are 3 or more tokens, discard all tokens and perform signature. Fun. Okay, yeah, so we break up the flow of the game. Enough talk, resolve uncontrollable anger. To speed things up, we'll reset the game one last time. The signature targets the closest Titan in front, which happens to be Shiver. Zigzags into adjacency. So, user trying to roll 10 up is steep odds indeed. Deals no danger. Okay, sounds good. Won't have to draw trauma. Still performs the after attack. Another stranding. Notice that there is a window of opportunity symbol before the attack. Keep it in mind as we'll get back to it. Okay, going 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's going to cause... Okay, so some more learn to play fun shenanigans. If only she had taken her turn before roar. Indeed, a whole bunch of the mechanics in these games are kind of puzzle-like, and positioning is very important. Okay, cool. So there we go. Also paying the fate cost there. Let's not forget that. Cool. Now you're back, poised for the attack. Bonus attacks, follow-up kit. Don't need to worry about that. Much has happened. Battle's far from over. So let's just jump right into it and see how we do. I feel like I'm going to miss so many rolls. But yeah, let's see. And again, time-stamped because this is basically the start of the fight. This is our first turn. We've had just this guy go, following all the learn to play shenanigans. And yes, let's do it. So I think first things first, let's go with Tremor. We're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got a break token in there. They're just using their fists, so it's gonna be, what's it gonna be? Shoot ice. These two, white being the crit die. And we're gonna be hitting on 6s, usually 7s, but because we're in the blind spot, 6s. 2 and a 5. Unfortunate. Let's spend a fate and reroll this one. Into a 2. Bummer. Okay, well, fate's up to 2. Well, that is a shame. I think we're probably going to go with gray person here. Who art thou? Are you Shiver? Oh, I also forgot. So that would have also increased our rage there too. Okay, so that is a full miss, meaning we don't put any tokens in the pool, which is a shame. And onwards we go to... Is that Shiver? Yeah, let's do Shiver. Same thing, let's try that again. An 8 and a 4. So we do hit once. Let's draw a BP. Flip that baddie. Hand that held. Okay, so only need one. We get 1 red die from the successful hit, and another red die from the Titan. And just to look at the weapon here, so here we go. So per connected hit, you get the red, and then you also get the red from the Titan sheet. Cool, cool. So 2. Let's get these guys out here. I don't know, like, should I bother using the dice tray? Okay, so we get our 1 there. So this is an example of that's a potential, and if we had a break token, we'd be able to spend that break token to do another danger damage kind of thing. But we get the one that we needed here. All right, so hand that held. Huzzah! We do that. Beautiful. So that is there. And so this card is back in play, and we have 1 token on top. Cool. Is there... Oh, I should have done this before. No other reactions. So we are good. Fun stuff. I think... Let's see. Let's go with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's not going to work. Let's go with our shark face killer here. No, he's already gone. Never mind. In that case, we're just going to move. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and that is going to be the end of our turn. Going up to 1 rage there, 2, and we would be able to leave a token, which would now be discarded anyways. So, alas. I'm trying to remember, how do we get this back? I think it's every round, or do we need to not spend... Okay, so they would be able to get that ability back because they only use remove, not their action, and then their action is re-upping this. I'm pretty sure that's the rule if I remember correctly. Again, been a hot minute. All right, cool, cool, cool. So that is the end of the first round. Let's see what this guy's gonna do next. Okay, stranding is specifically to do with this, I believe. No, that's signature. Oops. Okay. Well. Also, I don't see any terrain sheet. Hatred, courage, fear. No. So, strange tree. I don't know if it actually does anything. Kind of think not. Obstacle, obscuring, indestructible. So we can hide behind it. But anyways, let's see what this guy's gonna do. Backhand slap. Okay, so it's going to be targeting closest Titan in front, closest Titan in sight. We have 2 in the blind spots. Okay, so it's just going to turn like that and target our shark face killer. Nice. Alrighty, Ryu. So move and attack. It's done the move part. We don't have 3 fates. Each hit deals +1 danger with trauma draw. So 2 dice, 10 up. No dealio. All right, so that's 1 danger per, and then a trauma draw. So we're up to 4, which is going to put us into a major trauma. Inner strength. Lose a danger and stand up. You may immediately perform a bonus attack. Love to see it. Cool. Lose a danger and stand up. Cool. We're already up, which is good, but we get to perform a bonus attack. So let's get our rage up to 2. We'll take that priority target token. And let's do this thing. So we get 2 dice hitting on 7s. Huzzah! No hits. But that means it doesn't get any evil reactions on us. So, I mean, hey, we lost a danger. That is nice. At the end of its turn here, stranding. So stranding, let's take a look again. Move 3 spaces forward in a straight line, then turn to face the most titans. If it moves through or ends its move on a titan, do not suffer crash, which is nice. So it's going to go 1, 2, 3. Is that correct? 1, 2, 3. Cool. So we don't need to worry about crash. That's nice. And then does it turn to face the most titans? So let's turn you around like that, which makes its blind spot harder to get to, but that's okay. So how do we want to do this? Probably go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're not able to get into its blind spot. If it does stranding, it's just going to move forward. So let's probably go with shark face again. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We are going to attack. So we'll up our rage again to 3, which, ooh, I do need to check and see what happens here. All right, so we have a reroll if we want, which is nice. Ooh, I also forgot a very important thing. Escalation. Okay, so this is an AI 1. Let's pop you out. Get an AI 2. Shuffle you, and a BP 2. Shuffle you. Nice. All right, so. All right, what do we have here? Just with the Kratos table. So we have a normal breaker opening. I think this is a push one or a reroll, and then an additional opening or break. So we can use one of each or two of one if we want. Cool. All right, so we're gonna have the 2 dice hitting on 7s. Alas, no dealio. Do we want to spend another fate and go up to 2? Heck yes, we do. Let's reroll the crit die. Oh, so close to a crit, but that is a hit, so we'll take it. What do we get? We get the sandaled foot. Huzzah. So, all right, so we'll roll 2 die. Two. Beautiful. So we could reroll one if we want, but obviously there's no need. We could also push the bugger, but it would just go into the strange tree, which is obscuring and indestructible. So I assume he can't go into it. I can't remember that specific rule. But regardless, we do a wound. So let's take a look. Just a fail response. We don't need to worry there. So let's add you to the stack. Keep you on top. We'll add another token there. And then we need to, let's see, no, don't need to worry about that. But we do need to, there we go. Put you back there. Grab a BP2. Shuffle you up. And grab an AI2. Shuffle you up. All right, sweet. So we're going to have a stronger AI coming at us. Fun stuff. Low keys aside, after not playing Odyssey for so long, this is a lovely welcome back to the game. Okay, so that was just our shark face laddie, who definitely has a priority target. Who do we want to go with next? Probably the red dude. Let's do it. Or gray. Can they get in? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, let's do it. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is our gray person. Oh, interesting. Okay, don't mind me either. Let's see. So, oh, tokens. I forgot about tokens. We are probably going to do one of each. So we'll go boom and boom. All right, so 2 dice hitting on 6s. Oh, we hit. Good stuff. Good stuff. Do we want to spend a fate? Do we want to spend a fate? It's just an AI one, so probably not. We'll just keep that as is. Back of Atlas. Fun stuff. All right. Oh, so this is a 3. That'll be a little bit harder to hit. This will be harder indeed. We get 2 dice for it. Let's see. We do have... Okay, so heck yeah, we do. So we get 2, and we're able to spend that break token to get 3. Huzzah. All right, so what do we get here? Okay, so gain a danger and perform stranding. Let's do that. So gain a danger, perform stranding, which is 3 paces forward in a straight line. 1, 2, 3. Turn to face the most titans. Let's go. Oh, actually, we were set to do what's easier for us, so let's have it face that way. Cool, cool. And that is also going to be, let's not forget to add you there. Add you there. So we're going to do this in a sec, but first we're going to escalate. All right, so... So we're going to have a lot more AI and BP2s now, which is amping things up. And I do believe I did forget the rage, so let's not forget that. Okay, and now back to this guy. Perform signature, which is Dispassionate Slap. Closest Titan in front, closest Titan in sight. All right, closest Titan in front is going to be the person that we just attacked with, so we'll scoot on up there. 2 dice, 10 plus on Shiver. Oh, baby, we actually dodge one. Lovely. All right, so that's going to be 1 danger and a trauma draw. So major trauma. Prideful Dash. No, you don't. You may gain 1 hubris to remove up to 2 universal tokens from any stackable primordial trait. So we don't need to worry about that, but that is a cool one nonetheless. So we'll put you up there. Sweet. That sounds good. Okay, well, back to our go. So we had both of them go. Let's go with the blue lady here. So she's going to go 1, 2, 3. Torrent, she's going to increase her rage. Ooh, tokens. I forgot about tokens. Let's see. So that would have just been 1 token. Let's leave a... I think we got a AI BP2, so let's leave a break. There we go. So making the attack, we got the 2 dice, hitting on 6s because we're in the blind spot. Oh, that one is cocked. Let's reroll you. Sweet. So we get 1 hit. I think we're probably going to spend a fate actually and reroll, because it's a BP2, which is going to be hard to hit. So let's reroll this guy too. Alas, no. So we just get the 1 hit. So let's see what we connect with. Many scars. So AT value of 3, which is a challenge. For sure. Okay, the effect is a wound effect, which means we will be fine if we miss. Let's do it. So we have 2 dice. 1, 2, and we got the 2 pendulums, which wouldn't be enough, so we can't spend that anyways, so we can't wound. I think because we hit, we're still able to leave tokens. I believe that's how that plays. I can't remember for sure, but don't feel like going through the rulebook, so that's how we're gonna play it. Okay, so which tokens can we leave at this point? Just one or the other. We're in the blind spot, so we're gonna leave the token that's already there. Cool. So no wound done. The reaction's only on a wound, so we are good. Then we also didn't do a wound, so we don't need to worry about that. All right, so our last person is gonna go 1, 2, over to yonder. Same idea, so 2 dice, hitting on 6s. Oh baby, 2 hits. Heck yes. Okay, cool. Let's see what we're trying to hit. Powerful leg. All right, only need 2, and it's a fail response. So we got the 3 die, which is nice. And we have that break in play. Oh yeah. Oh yes, absolutely tootin'. We do a wound, so we'll add another token back there. And we shall discard you. How many cards do we have in here? 5. So we just have 1 more wound to do. Fun stuff. Okay, let's see here. So we need a... They're all 2. So in which case, let's put you there. We shall get rid of you. And then we'll grab that. This gets put in here, and we'll shuffle that all up. Then a BP2. Shuffle you. Cool. All right, that is going to be the end of our turn. Let's go with Heracles. What you got? Out of my way. All right, closest Titan in front. That's easy. That'll be the person. I think Shiver is their name. Torrent. No. Shiver. Huzzah! I was right. Alrighty. So. 2 dice, 10 up. Each hit deals 2 danger with a trauma draw. Let's do it. Go in the distance for the big 10s. No, not going to bother spending any fates. Actually, you know what? Let's do it, because why not? This fight should be almost over. We haven't spent any, and danger is actually getting up there. So let's do the crit die. Unlikely, but that's okay. All right, what do we have here? So that's going to be 4 danger on Shiver. 1, 2, 3, 4, bringing us to 9, which is not a... Oh, interesting. Very interesting. It's going to be a grave trauma. See pattern. Look at the top cards of the BP and AI decks. You may put each card back on top in its respective deck or onto the discard pile. Gain a progress. Oh, that's fun. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm assuming it's here. Oiko stuff, where art thou progress? One. We'll just put it there because we have the progress symbol there. Fun. Was there anything else on that card to be aware of? No. Nice. Put each card back on top of its respective deck or discard pile. So we kind of want to hit the BP too because I want to see what it is. If we were playing just to win, like the actual campaign, it would probably make sense to pick it up. Oh, it's BP2 anyway, so never mind. But yeah, cool. Because BP2s are going to be harder to hit than BP1s. But that's all good. So after attack, knockdown, knockback 5. And this is specifically targeting, let's see, because we do have a reaction. No, they just have the +2 fury. So this is just going to happen. So knock down, flip you, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they're going to be out of play for this turn. There we go. But with that, it is back to our turn. So it makes sense to go with one of the people in the blind spot. So Rage 1 versus Rage 2 with Torrent. So let's go with Torrent. So going up to 3 Rage, we should have something in here, I think, but I can't remember what, so we're just going to play it just as is. Who did that? I can't recall. Yeah, we're just going to play it as is. I'm pretty sure I should have a token here. Let's just roll a dice. We'll say on a 5 up, we can put 1 token in. Or 6 up. No. Okay, so we are just going to go ahead as is. We have the 2 dice hitting on 6s. We get 1 hit. This is potentially the last wound that we need to do, so we're going to spend the fate to reroll this guy. Heck yeah, so 2 hits, meaning we get the 3 dice. Let's see what we're connecting with first. Closed fist. I feel like this fight is very domestic abuse coded, which is on brand for like the whole theme and everything, but damn. All right, so 4. We don't have any tokens, which is a shame, but we do have the 3 dice. So let's see if we can do it. Oh, dear diary jackpot. That was basically the most fantastic possible roll there. Heck yeah. So we only needed 4, and we got 6. Heck yes. And we don't need to worry about the response because that is the end of the fight. Boom, boom, boom. Let's go to battle aftermath. When you deal a 6th wound, you slay the primordial, your father's shadow. It's important to note that you win as soon as you deal the killing blow. Yep, exactly. However, you still get positive rewards like loot from critical wounds. When the primordial is killed, all that's left is to clean up, gain resources, and possibly go on a carcass delve. Greater challenge. Was a tutorial battle too easy for you? Do you want to push daddy right here and now? No problem. Restart the battle in the following way, then take it from the top, starting with the primordial round. No training wheels, no holding hands. Oh, and play up to 6 wounds. Good luck. Okay. Yes, the brute is on his knees, his chiseled face bruised and bloodied. He is beaten, he will yield, and he will answer for his sins. Yet as the 4 of you close in around him, he remains defiant, his head unbowed. Under his relentless gaze, you can't help but turn away. Then he begins to dissipate into wisps of black, for he was never here. You didn't stop him then, on that day. What made you think you could stop him now? Rage fills you. Cool. Okay, before doing anything else, take out the oversized Oikos Triskelion, so like the Heraclides, and gain 1 Oikos Rage. Oikos Rage, huzzah! Dial should start at 0. So the Oikos Triskelion, so this is new, so I'm going to read this, is similar to the regular one, as it also tracks important attributes, Oikos Fates, Oikos Rage, and Threat. Oikos, as you may remember, means family. The Oikos Triskelion measures attributes that are true for your party as a group and will be primarily used during the journey portion of the game. The Oikos Triskelion dials go from 0 to 12. Regular ones only go to 9, and the consequences of crossing these thresholds are much more dire. Going over 12, Rage or Fate, will result in immediate campaign loss. Threat is a bit different. Going over 12 threat signals an imminent threat battle with a primordial. If you want to learn more about threat, see number 37, Passage of Time and Threat. Cool. So rage is the measure of your anger, goes from 0 to 9. The higher it is, the more angry and violent you become. If you ever go past 9, you will succumb, go wild, or die. All right, so this is an application of the rage mechanic for the whole oikos. In other words, it's collective. And high rage is bad for you. In fact, going over 12, because that's immediate campaign loss. Many will force you to raise this. A few, like seeking sanctuary or visiting a city and taking time to unwind, will lower it. So this is kind of like, you can't just push expiration endlessly. Cool, cool. So normal battle, you gain resources. We'll teach you how to do this later. For now, you just need to remember that usually it happens after a battle. If you're very curious, you can learn about it in box 50, gaining resources on page 41. On a similar note, this is the moment you would be making discoveries. Generally, you make a single discovery after each threat battle, stopping at the 8th threat battle in a region. Discoveries will allow you to unlock new crafts, and you will use crafts to make new, more powerful gear. However, this tutorial doesn't offer any discoveries. Carcass Delve. Battles, especially lost ones, can be grim affairs. Heraclidi will die routinely. As a result of the mysterious effect called the Gaia Pact, death is only a temporary state of affair for you, in most cases. However, before we proceed to explain what that is and how it works, we'll take a detour through Hades' doorstep, the Carcass Delve. The Carcass Delve is part of the battle aftermath that you will resolve when one or more Heraclides dies in battle, but before you tally casualties and expand the Gaia Pact. Think of the Carcass Delve as a walk on the narrow path between life and death, just as a life-giving force is trying to knit your body back together inside the primordial's body, no less. A more entropic power draws you deeper within, towards a black gate, perhaps into the embrace of true death. Sounds morbid, doesn't it? Well, it's actually an opportunity. You see, the longer you cling to death during your Carcass Delve, the more resources, power, and secrets you can rip out of the dead primordial. Fun. Huzzah, cool. Well, let's go ahead and check that out. Okay, Carcass Delve, let's go. As a quick aside, I did hit pause between recording the last portion and what I'm just starting now, so seamless cut for the video itself, but it has been some time. So, I did spawn this because I didn't spawn it in during the last little go. So we have the Oikos Triskelion with the 1 rage that we collected. And we're about to spawn in the Carcass Delve. So let us see what do we think of that. Alright, cool. Right in the very middle there. Heraclides Carcass Delve chart. First, flip the Heraclides primordial sheet to the other side. It shows your first Carcass Delve. Each primordial has a unique one. Notice the various nodes. Whoops, let's actually... Microphone was not anywhere near my face, so that first part might have sounded a little odd. Hopefully it sounds a little bit better now. Alright, so the various nodes represent a potential reward, like a Gaia Seed or an experience point. The nodes are connected with arrowed paths, showing you the flow of the delve. If you want a sneak peek at what a Gaia Seed is, see 33, Gaia Seeds and Titans on page 24. So that is going to be further ahead. We can take a look at it here. So we either have, I think that's going to be a Gaia Seed XP or another Gaia Seeds, and then BP reroll is resource redraw. Cool. Resource redraw. Interesting. Interesting. All right, well, let's continue on here. As soon as a Heraclides dies, a mysterious life force, seemingly the very earth itself, very much Gaia, begins a process of bringing them back, literally stitching them back from available life matter. If the death happened during battle, this available matter will be the dead primordial's carcass, or a piece of it. Primordials are dark, vile creatures, and this metaphysical disposition disrupts their resurrection, allowing for the phenomenon you call the Carcass Delve. In essence, the Heraclidae who died in these circumstances linger in death, or even desperately cling to it. They tell of the boons they can extract during this process, and of the mysterious black gate that looms at the very bottom. Interesting. So when this was pitched, I thought it was more delving into the corpse of the primordial rather than it being necessitated, being only brought on if you have a Titan die. So interesting. Also, Black Gates and this whole thing, I feel like it's going to have interesting repercussions in Cycle 3, the fall or winter one? I think winter. The one where you have to kill like the remainders of death or whatever. Alright, so in game terms, a Carpus Delve is a push your luck system that offers various exotic rewards. You will find those rewards on a Primordial's Carcass Delve chart. Each Primordial has a unique chart, and the most powerful foes, like adversaries and Typhon, offer their own variation on the mechanic called the Forgotten Battlefield. So there's a start, various nodes offer different rewards. These rewards will be showcased on the node itself and then further explained in the chart's legend. There are many different rewards, but only a few general type of nodes. Alright. I am probably just going to read this to myself and cut that out from the video. So feel free to pause and read it in full if you like. Okay, cool. Seems straightforward. So in this case, because we don't have any black ones, so diamonds can only begin once, white nodes can be combined, and black nodes cannot. So there are no black except for the ones at the very end here, which I have no idea what that is. A force of change. Once per carcass delve, each Heraclides may gain 1 hubris to repeat a failed carcass draw. Pygmalion Seed Shard. That's what that one is. Interesting. All right, well, let's flippy flip. Let's get to it. As already mentioned, only dead Heraclidi can participate in the delve, obviously, and only if they want to. Regardless of how you fared in your stranding battle, let's assume 2 of you died, Shiver and Poor Roar. Place their Titan miniatures on the starting space of the chart. Shiver and Roar. Alrighty, Roo. Oh, nice, it set it up for us. Did it? Not really, but that's fine. We'll just use these two. Oh, no, it's already there. It is already set up. Okay. Perform the Carcass Delve in death order, i.e., who died first goes first, and so on. Let's assume Shiver died before Roar, so they go first. They have a decision to make, to delve deeper or to stop and willingly return to life. At this point, it's a no-brainer. There's no reason not to delve, and there is only one path leading out of the starting space. Move Shiver's miniature along the path onto the round white Gaia Seed node. Which one is Shiver? I've forgotten. So, there we go. Death order. Okay, golden roll. Cool. Shiver defies life and moves onto the first node. The reward is within reach, but it's not quite yours yet. As you delve deeper into the carcass, and possibly the realm of death itself, the life energies of the Gaia Pack desperately try to bring you back to life, seemingly against your will. This is represented by the Carcass Draw. You perform a Carcass Draw each time you move onto a new chart node. As Shiver did just that, they must perform a Carcass Draw. This draw is similar to a standard Obol draw. You take a single You Died card and a single You Live card, shuffle them, and draw one. However, to succeed, you need to draw the You Died card. Well, I mean, in ATO, we get that way more often than the You Live, so hopefully that remains the case here. This represents your drive to stay dead long enough to wrangle out the secrets and treasures of the strange place. Try it now. Shuffle the 2 Obol and draw one. Let's see what it is we get here. You died! Huzzah! They'll bring their charms to gladden you, and should their stay be brief. Okay. What does this mean? Alright, if you drew the You Died, you would succeed at the draw and again face the choice of whether you continue with the delve or stop. Choosing the latter would end your delve willingly. This word, willingly, is key here. If you end the delve willingly, choosing to stop, you retain all rewards you gained thus far. In other words, you pay out your Carcass Delve rewards. You have to stop and allow the Gaia Pack to return you to life. Let's fudge the game a bit. Regardless of what you drew, let's assume it was a You Died, a success. You will potentially gain 1 Gaia Seed, but only if you decide to stop your delve and willingly return to life. If you would elect to continue the delve, clinging to death, you could potentially gain more, but you could also risk gaining nothing, as the only way to pay out your rewards is to willingly stop the delve. Let's assume the mood evaporated quickly. Experiencing a prolonged death is not a pleasant feeling, and they stop their delving, allowing the Gaia Pack to do its thing. Note 1 in the Gaia Seed space on the Oiko sheet now. Finally, remove Shimmer's miniature from the chart. Alright, Gaia Seeds, let's go. Where art thou? Gaia Seeds, where art thou? All right, that took me a lot longer to find than expected, but that's okay. There we are. It's Roar's turn to delve. They have to continue along. Okay, I guess we need to remove Shiver. Let's put you down there. Okay, they have to continue along the same path as Shiver. After all, there is only one. Let's assume they move on to the first node and succeed the Carcass Draw, but then decide to continue the delve. At this point, they could take one of two paths. They could take the right path for another Gaia Seed, or the left path to try and gain an experience point. As you don't know how to use experience points yet, the choice is clear. Right it is. Okay, so that would be basically a free move to boink, and then boink up over yonder. Before we resolve the second draw, let's consider the node they landed on. It's a white Gaia Seed node, just like the first one. However, it's a different shape, that of a diamond, while the previous node is a circle. Round nodes can be resolved many times. The diamond can only be resolved once by the first Heracleides that cashes out that reward. In other words, once any Heracleides gains a reward from the diamond node and stops their delve willingly, none others can gain it. Okay, cool. The color of a node is just as important as its shapes. When Heracleides succeeds a Carcass Draw on a white node, its reward is added to the other rewards while white nodes are already gained. Cool. Conversely, okay, so this is literally just repeating what we're reading in the rules, but that's okay. The choice is made. Okay, let's just be sure here. For the sake of brevity, let's assume Roar drew a You Live Obol card. This means they failed at their Carcass Delve draw. The forces of creation yank them out violently from Death's Embrace. Whenever Heracleides fails their Carcass draw, their delve immediately ends just as if they passed. However, ending a delve this way is much more costly. You lose all the Carcass Delve rewards this Heracleides accumulated so far. For Roar, this would mean not gaining that Gaia Seed from the first node. Roar really wants to grab that second Gaia Seed, though. He died, and this is the quickest, surest way of replenishing your stock of these life-giving seeds. The game offers him an option. Look at the box in the lower right corner. Okay, so this is the Hubris. To repeat a failed Carcass draw. Do it now. You don't yet have a Heracleides sheet to note the Hubris, so take a general token. Universal. And this was Roar. Let's assume you drew a You Died this time. Success! Now, do you want to push your luck and try for another node, or would you prefer to pass and walk with two guaranteed Gaia Seeds? The choice is up to you. Well, we haven't gotten to draw, so let's go ahead and do it. We're going to push forward for the resource redraw, which is useless to us right now, but we want to do things for fun. So let's scoot forward and do the thing. We'll shuffle you up. Ah, alas, we get nothing. I will lend you for a time, a child of mine. Alright, so resource redraw will be of little use at the moment, seeing as you don't draw resources after this battle. The node after that, however, has a special prize, a Pygmalion Seed Shard, as well as a story paragraph. If you go for it and somehow succeed, note the Pygmalion Seed Shard on the Oiko sheet and resolve paragraph 0000. We'll explain how to resolve paragraphs in a little while on something page, only in the full game. If you go for it but fail, take one of the universal traits as a reminder you got Hubris, so we already did that. Once you finish the Carcass Delve, move on to Suffering Casualties below. Okay, once again, I am going to read this on my own and cut that out of the video, so feel free to pause the video now and read through if you would like to. Okay, cool. Resolving Tides of Fate and Simmering Rage. I think I'll read that out loud because it sounds new, and the others, once again, just feel free to pause the video and read through at your leisure. So Resolving Tides of Fate and Simmering Rage. The Moirae, Sisters of Fate, are fickle and like to toy with the lives of mortals and gods alike. Primordial battles are the pinnacle of this cruel spectacle. There is a silver lining, though. Once a battle concludes, okay, no, this is, I think, similar to just the base game. Tides of Fate will recede, allowing you to breathe that much more easily. Once you gain resources and noted casualties, you'll resolve the Tides of Fate. This usually means that you get to reset your Triskelion, all your Triskelion values to 0, and lower your Oikos fate by 2. At this point, your Oikos Triskelion should indicate 0, so you have nothing to lower. Simmering Rage is different. You'd think that a battle with a monster would be cathartic and lower your anger, but it's not quite how the mortal mind works. Rage begets rage. Besides, you have just transformed into a monster yourself. This leaves a lasting effect. Each threat battle makes you gain 1 Oikos Rage. Raise your Oikos Rage now. The dial should be at 2. Indeed. Again, I freaking love this symbol. It's so cool. All right, cool. So I'm going to read these. Feel free to skip ahead, and then we shall return to the journey. All right, so return to the journey. Normally at this point, you'd shuffle the exploration decks. However, you don't have them yet. So instead, just go to chapter 0. Childhood ends on the next page. Oh, and one more thing. You can pack up the battle components, except the child cards. You won't need them for a while. Put you back up there. Cool. I like that. That is good use of space. Okay, so again, we are going to read this ourselves just so it goes faster, but the narrated audio is freaking awesome. Chapter 0, Childhood's End. To make things easier, we've divided the next few pages of the Learn to Play book into chapters. Each chapter represents one part of the journey to the Boeotian coast. During each chapter, we'll summarize what you should do to move the game along, gradually introducing new game concepts. You'll also be prompted to take additional game components from the game box. As you progress, you'll encounter several types of passages. You're already familiar with boxes that introduce new rules. From now on, you'll also come upon story passages like Childhood's End below, which will help immerse yourself into the world of Aeon Trespass, 12 Sins of Heracles. Some story passages will blend the story and rules together, often requiring you to make a decision. For now, read the story Introduction to Childhood's End. Actually pretty long. You're roused by the faint hiss of a dying fire. No light dares to peer over the midnight blue horizon, yet Ialos has begun striking the camp. Cold air immediately keens your senses, and you begin to pick up the sound of the night forest, the nervous rustle of the underbrush, and the more deliberate susurrus of the canopy. The aeons-old dance of predator and prey. Relief watches over you. The black void, the encounter with your father, it wasn't real. A nightmare, just a nightmare. Get up. Ialos' voice is annoyingly even, neither scolding nor kind. We're still a ways from the coast. You glance at your half-siblings, slowly sitting up from their own bedrolls, no more happy than you about the early rise. You barely know them, yet you see their faces the same waning dread that gripped your heart a moment ago. So was it a nightmare? A portent? Something more? Something typhonic. Typhonic, a strange word. A few days ago, it didn't mean anything to you. Not until you met this vagabond hobbling with an old spear along the overgrown road to your village. Celine's bloody moon, the man then said, unbidden, pointing to the crooked orb hanging low in the firmament. Primordials stir, even here in Boeotia. Not a time for a walk. You didn't need a lecture from a stranger. Besides, he was out too, wasn't he? I can take care of myself, old man. No, the man shot back, still looking at the sky. You can't. That is why you're here and not at home. You're restless, yearning. A thought crossed your mind. Who does he think he is, this weathered man in a worn, dappled robe, to accost you on the road after dark, to behave as if he knows anything about you? Does he want to frighten you? You won't get anything from me, neither coin nor food, and don't think I won't give you a licking just because you're an old tramp. I'm not afraid. Then you are more foolish than you look. Pace. Pace? I'm sure there's an appropriate pronunciation that I'm missing there. And I'm wasting my breath on you. He sighed. Then he added, I came here to help you. Don't slap my hand away. That's what your father would do. Those few words cut deep. I am nothing like him. Then hear me out. And if I don't want to? He shrugged, then straightened. No longer did he seem old and weary. I go to the next village over, where another woman bore a similarly unruly child, a sibling you did not know about, who, just like you, has not met their father, and who struggles with the same helpless anger that consumes you. I don't want to have anything to do with him or his seed, you barked, and you meant it. For if there had been anything you despised in this world, it was him, Heracles, your father. Ialos nodded knowingly, then scratched his brow, as if that was ever a choice. Listen well, because time is short. A man-king named Eurysus, whose hatred of your father rivals your own, has ordered his vast host to scour Boeotia and slaughter every child of Heracles and all those who harbor them. You wanted to lash out again, but rumors of white-clad militias sweeping across the countryside had reached even your remote village. Arrests, executions, you thought they were looking for bandits and blasphemers, making the world safer for everyone. You secretly cheered them on. You were not a bandit. You were just... Let them come. anyone. I told you, old man, I'm not afraid, and I won't abandon my family like my father. I will fight them, kill them if I have to. I know. It was the first time you heard softness in his voice, and they know it too. That is why they come. That is why you cannot stay. That is how you keep your family safe. And then he gave you that look. You would never forget it. A look of a man who knows he is taking away someone's innocence. Among your father's many sins, the one that courses through his veins is the most grave. You do feel it, right? The incessant rage, the urge to destroy it all. It is a typhonic curse. It will consume you, and all that remains will be a mindless monster, a titan. You had dreamt of it, a dream of power, of shedding your mortal skin and becoming a god beast, a creature of pure rage and hate, wanting nothing but to kill. Kill for the sake of killing, bloodshot eyes seeing a plain of shattered bones, ears deafened with the smack of rended flesh and screams, mouth agape, overflowing with the sea of blood you drank, the blood of mortals. It terrified you, and it came to you more frequently now, almost every night. It was hard to contain, like a caged animal lusting to be let out. It seeped into the waking world. Think of your close ones, Ialos added, as he saw what you saw. You may save them from Eurystheus, but who will save them from you? For that you did not have an answer. You stammered, can the curse be lifted? That, Iolo smiled thinly, is my hope. Come with me, and we will search for a way together. Fun stuff. It's been too long since I've read Marston's writing, and I love it so very much. Also, I can't remember for sure, but timeline-wise, in my personal life, I'm pretty sure I've watched Attack on Titan since we stopped playing ATO. Again, can't wait to jump back into it, but life's been hectic, and it just feels so much more AOT coded, and I love it. All right, so with this, you've started your journey. You already have your Oikos sheet out. Now is the time to fill it some more. The Oikos, as you are aware, represents your humble patchwork family. And as with every family, you have your ups and downs. This morale will be represented by the bond stat. Mark that you have 5 bond. Alrighty, Roo. We're already there. Good stuff. You're new to this game of cat and mouse, avoiding pursuits, keeping to the back roads, covering your tracks, making sure Eurystheus never catches up to you. Your efforts in this field will be tracked by the guys stat. Mark that you have 4 guys. You also have 0 fate, which you tracked during the battle aftermath, as well as 2 rage. We got that too, and 0 threat. So 4 guys. We are there as well. Cool. Now flip Roar's child card and place it in the middle of the play area. As you progress through this learn to play, you'll flip the other child cards too, gradually completing the Oikos Enchiridion. The Enchiridion introduces important rules and stat limits and serves as a handy reminder of the most common abilities and effects. And sorry, this is going to be, who was it? Was it Roar? Yes, cool. Effects your Oikos can utilize. Moreover, it provides you with a full journey phase summary. Notice that the current card indicates your Gaia Seed, Bond, and Gaia's limits. You should have 8 or 10 Gaia Seeds. Your spirits are at maximum, but your sneaking could still use some work. Let's flip Roar's card over. Bond limit 5, Gaia's limit 5, Gaia limit 12, Journey Pool limit 5, Oikos charges limit. In the regular campaign, this will govern your Oikos talents. Cool. That's like the upgraded, better version of the Argo abilities, is my assumption. Cool. All right, so Bond and Guys are hit points. In other words, they behave like resources. You gain them, lose them, and trade them. They are in essentially the life force of the Oikos. If either falls to 0, consult the storybook paragraph noted next to the appropriate track on your Oikos sheet. Be warned, though, that it will have disastrous consequences and most likely end the campaign with immediate defeat. Take care of your family and keep a low profile. Oikos Enchiridion, just reminds you of enchilada. The Oikos Enchiridion is a central cheat sheet with all of the important rules, actions, and summaries. During this tutorial, you'll slowly build out your enchilada, adding new cards as the game systems and mechanics are introduced. However, even the Oikos enchilada you piece together by the end of the Learn to Play will not cover everything, but still be delicious. Some more advanced rules have been removed to facilitate ease of learning. Moreover, the final Oikos enchilada will be double-sided. If the front of the sheet is a nexus for important rules and summaries of the journey phase, the back will cover all the rules and important events of the battle phase. That sounds freaking sweet. I love it. One thing that base ATO does not have is anything like that, and that sounds great. Technically speaking, if you got the binder like we did, so you can go through there, but the binder is kind of like too big to be used in play, in my opinion. It's got great stuff in it, but it's just such a heckin' chunk. I still really like it. Like for storage and stuff, it's really good for a lot of ways, but it's just too big. So that on a double-sided sheet sounds sweet. Oikos card versus full Oikos enchilada. Alrighty, you're all set for your journey. Outside of battle, most of the game takes place on the journey map. It's the beginning of your travels, and your goal is simple. Reach Boetia's shore before Eurystheus' men, or something worse, catches up to you. Take out the tutorial map tiles from the game box. Map tiles are double-sided. The back shows a large, yep, that we know all this from the first game. Don't look at the tile fronts until instructed to. Now place the tile marked T00 on the table and reveal it. Then place the Oikos miniature on top of it, on the node marked start. These are your starting tiles and starting nodes. Finally, we'll just go ahead and spawn this in for Journey Begins. Okay, I assumed it was going to set up the whole map, but it did not. Okay, so let's see. Place T00 on the table and reveal it. So let's do that. Two right in the middle. T001, which should be, my guess is... Yes. Oh, this is fun. Don't mind me looking at these little minis. So this is the Gegaton, the little baby Hickaton. This is the Oikos mini. Let's see if we can rotate you around so you can see a little bit better. Sculpt looks pretty cool in here, actually. And then this is the adversary sculpt for, not Garyon. Is it Garyon? I can't remember. The two-headed wolf baddie. And seeing it in chibi form is both really terrifying and so adorable. Love it. I do think the reveal of this as the extra mini was kind of, I don't know, kind of ho-hum in my opinion. The idea of it just kind of makes me think they couldn't think of anything else more thematic. Because, like, to be fair, in ATO, having the Argo as the thing you journey around is just freaking perfect. For this one, cruising around with your family through the woods and such, having a dude holding up a house like Atlas, just in my opinion, doesn't feel as inspired. I feel like they could have thought of something more thematic. To be fair, off the top of my head, I am drawing a blank. But again, I feel like something more inspired would be possible. That's not to undercut the sculpt and such. It is a cool idea, but yeah, for something that's going to be that you could just use like one of your character minis for, I don't think this is really any better than that. And having something a little more unique would have been my personal go-to. But again, I don't have any meaningful suggestions to do instead. I'd be curious if anyone else does. Alrighty, Roo. So, and we're supposed to be there. So let's go ahead and place that. Da-da-da-da. And I think, oh yeah, ooh, I forgot the maps are different. Fun. So instead of just being front and center, just wherever, because this is the map tile we're on, we actually have a place that we start and we make our way through. Ooh, I like that already. Ooh, heck yeah. Okay, so we've done that. Your setup should look like this. Journey begins. Huzzah! The face-up tile you're currently on represents your immediate vicinity. You have a pretty good grasp of what features surround you and what routes are available to you. Spoilers, not many at the moment. Now switch your attention to the adjacent tile T01. It's face down, showing only the general layout of the land and no nodes. In other words, your knowledge of what lies in this direction is limited. However, it's close enough for you to perceive its geographical features and maybe try to intuit what's out there. Whenever you enter a tile, you will always place all adjacent tiles indicated by the arrows on your tile face down too. We'll discuss this in further details below. That's it for your first day. Proceed to Chapter 1, Call to Adventure. When you're ready to begin your escape from Boeotia. Heck yeah. So I forgot about that. I read that in recent updates, and I think that is so freaking sweet. Like, there's nothing wrong with having, like, using Cycle 1 in ATO as an example, or any of the cycles in ATO, just having a card back. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. But having it show a artistic version of the map without all of the gameplay stuff is really cool. And don't like. I'm pretty sure I commented on it in one of the updates that they've done, saying it was neat. But seeing it actually in practice instead of just in an image, but in digital gameplay, like that's cool. It's a small thing, but I really like that. Yeah, freaking sweet. Okay, onwards we go. Estimated completion 40 minutes or so. Okay. The sun is merciless and progress slow. Ialos or Iolos. As you trek through the back roads, wild barley fields double up through the oak thickets and dry ravines. You develop blisters on your feet, rashes from sword edge thistles and exposed arms. A sour mood from his constant nagging. Southward, the sprawling, what is this word? Orchomenion, vast and once great, shadowed and perilous since the times of the Eschaton. At your backs, two great outstretched arms of mountains. They caress Boeotia since ancient times. Highest among them, flattened massif of Mount Parnalos, coal-black at the jagged rim, where a great battle took place. Once, in a different age, not your story. Why do we follow this Misthios anyways? One of you whispers when they make sure Aiolos cannot hear them. We'd be better off on our own. How do you know he's a Mysios? Mythios? I have no idea what that is. The same, Heraclides stumbles, blusters. Doesn't matter if he is. Matters this. You don't know him. Who is he, really? He can be leading us straight to the white-clad king. Maybe he's him. Maybe he made him up. Maybe he's a child slaver. Weren't you the first one he recruited? And another one of you chimes in. You're the kind that fought to follow slavers when they asked nicely? Screw you. Listen, I'm just looking out for you, that's all. Strange old man, knows a lot about, father, offers help, kindness of the heart and all that. Why? Doesn't add up if you ask me. Someone's scared. What's that got to do? Wait. That's what I got. Oh my god, sorry, I am struggling in this sentence. That's what you got from all I was saying? More blusters. I'm not scared. I'm the bravest of you runts. Scared of what? Paius? None of you heard Aeolus's approach. Didn't he hobble when you first met? What are you dreaming about when your mind sleeps, I venture? The impulsive Heraclides open their mouths to voice their objection, but the old man doesn't let them finish. He doesn't care. Come on, there's a village nearby, and we need supplies. He takes the lead and doesn't spare a glance to check if you're following him or not. And it's quite simple. I'm your dad's best friend. Mic drop. Cool. It's time to finally get going. Your pursuers are closing in. Usually a map tile will show a web of interconnected nodes, which means that wherever you are, whichever node the Oikos miniature is on, you'll have a choice of where to go. For now, though, you need to reach Boetia's coast post-haste. On your current tile, there's only a linear chain of nodes leading eastward and culminating in an arrow pointing to tile T01. All this is to say, there's only one direction you can go, onto the round black node to the southeast. This is depicted by a path connecting the two nodes. A path connects! You'll always travel along such paths. The general rule is, if there's a path connecting two nodes, you can journey from one to the other. If there isn't one, you can't. Traveling in Sins of Heracles is inexplicably tied to the passage of time. Simply put, moving from one node to an adjacent node is considered taking roughly 1 day. Coincidentally, this is also the equivalent to one journey phase. All right, I'm going to read this to myself. Feel free to pause and read along as well if you would like. Okay, that's quite interesting, actually. Very cool indeed. Move the Oikos miniature to the round black node connected to your current node with a path. Journey map nodes will come in various shapes and colors. They will also show a variety of symbols. The node you just reached is black. Black color represents wilderness, while white represents civilization. Neither is inherently bad or good. Wilderness represents the dangers and beauty of an untamed land, mostly untouched by mortals, while civilization represents the spread of mortals, their villages, cities, cultures, and all that it entails. Nature knows no crime or sin, for example. During your journeys, you will have to traverse both, choosing optimal path for you. Each kind of node will present a different set of dangers, represented by one of the exploration decks and completely different adventures. In fact, drawing an exploration card is something that happens each time you move from node to node. Take the tutorial cards out of the box, numbered 1 to 12, and carefully divide the cards into 3 separate decks. 2 small card decks, Wilderness, Exploration, and Civilization. You should be out already. Let's just see. So we have Event, Exploration, and Exploration. And also there's the Marauding Gigatom. Look at that lovely, lovely face. Food chain, so that means Orthros. Orthros, that's the name of the hound. Cool. Cool, 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 cool. Well, let us skip up to that little point. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, and black. Black was wilderness. So I'm assuming we just need to draw a card, but let's just read along and see. Okay, so usually shuffle. Do not do that for the learn to play, though. The cards used in this tutorial have been numbered in a specific order to facilitate you learning the game. After you're done, your deck should look like this. Card number 1 at the top of the wilderness deck, card 2 at the top of the civilization deck, and card 4 at the top of the events deck. Let us see. 1, 2, 4. Cuckoo! Okay, you've just entered a black wilderness node, so you have to draw a wilderness exploration card. Just the one. Do it now. Exploration cards will feature various effects. The card you've just drawn, Boeotian Woods, has only one effect: gain a threat. So do just that. I guess we should draw this and see that first. So we are in the wilderness. Let's flip you over. In the absence of civilization, wilderness thrives. This space will inform you of the adversary's movement. This space will inform you of the Typhon's movement. What the Hank Brown is the Typhon? Do we know what the Typhon is? Gain the thing that's name eludes me. I've already forgotten it. This space tells you whether this symbol on the Oikos Triskelion advances, hastening various events, and a primordial battle. Okay, so what is that thing that we are going to be adding? Threat. Cool. And that has another symbol on it, which I'm sure we'll read about momentarily. Threat. Notice the Ouroboros window now shows the Oikos Rage symbol as well. Simply put, Rage is a familial curse. It is always bubbling to the surface, and it will only get worse as time goes on. Whenever you see the symbol or are told to gain 1 Rage, adjust the Oikos Rage down to reflect that. Do it now and move Oikos Rage to 3. Okay, I'm going to go back and feel free to pause this. I'm going to read it on my own time, but I will read this part first. Having resolved the card in full, place it beside the wilderness deck. This is your wilderness discard. Cards in the exploration deck discard pile are shuffled only when you run out of cards in the deck, or when a specific effect orders you to do so. You are now free to explore your surroundings, i.e. interact with the node itself. The node you're on has a something symbol, which represents a common point of interest. Points of interest do not have any inherent effects or interactions, but other rules may refer to them, temporarily giving them special qualities. There is no such effect in play. You don't have to do anything. That's it for the first day of travel. Let's move right to the next one. Yeah, so that'll be discardy enough for us. Okay, I'm going to read this. Technically, unless a path is specifically marked as being one direction, you can freely travel back and forth between nodes. However, there is nothing waiting for you back at the start node, so let's move forward. The next node is white, so moving to it will cause you to draw a civilization card. Do it now. Let's do it and flip you over. Boeotian backroads. Not many dare travel since the Eschaton. This space will inform you of the adversary, and this space will inform you of the Typhon. Here you will sometimes find an additional journey effect. Here you will usually find an effect gated by your reputation, Oikos Fate or Oikos Rage. Gain a threat. Alrighty roo. Another threat for us. Boom, boom, boom. I don't know what that symbol means yet. So gain a threat. Do that and discard this card. You're on uncommon paint of interest here, so still there's nothing to do in the game to interact with it, so ignore it for now. I do just want to see what it looks like really quick. And I also forgot to move us. Point of interest. Are we on a point of interest? I mean, it's telling us so. That little symbol just doesn't really show up clearly here. And it doesn't look like that same symbol. I do not so far understand the point of interest thing, but I don't think it really matters for us in this case anyway, so we shall continue. However, notice that when you gain the second point of threat and move the dial to 2, you also revealed a new symbol on the dial, an adventure. Oh, fun. This indicates that your Oikos will have to go on an adventure. For a full explanation on how to identify and resolve adventures, see 39. Adventures, hubs, and boxes. If you want to jump straight into it, read the adventure below, Boeotian Hospitality. Cool, I'm going to read this. Again, feel free to pause because I'm going to cut me reading it out. This one I think is worth cruising through because it is going to be different than ATO. Okay, so that's cool. Let's read Boeotian Hospitality. At dusk, you arrive at a small gatherers community at the edge of the Ochomenian, the Old Forest. Aiolos goes on ahead to negotiate for supplies, but is quickly turned away. They don't like strangers here, especially with the rumors of the White Clad's search. Famous Boeotian hospitality, he murmurs as he leads you away from civilization's light, deeper into the woods. It's dark and foreboding. Here's a good place as any. Go on. Aiolos adds encouragingly. The camp won't pitch itself. You work, Aiolos takes a nap. You manage to finish in record time. The old man is still fast asleep. Time to show the old codger. Time to show the old codger. Show him what you're capable. Show him that you're capable of more than just picking berries and putting up tents. That you are strong, capable, and brave. Who's with me? For once, you're in agreement. You need those supplies, and you will get them. And the villagers won't turn you away because we won't ask permission. You sneak into the sleeping village, a handful of sun-dried mud brick houses, really, arranged somewhat haphazardly in a circle, and quietly making your way to the central storehouse, a two-storied building covered in white plaster. Only take what we need, the most thoughtful of you instructs, and leave a fair payment. We're not thieves, just desperate. Suddenly, you hear someone hiss. Stop, you scamps! You're ready to explain your behavior when the man, a village guard by the looks of his kit, rumbles, Wait, what's wrong with your eyes? Your eyes, shining emerald at the most inopportune time, the mark of the Titan in you. Decide who becomes the firstborn and give them the firstborn token, then choose. The guard is on the very verge of realizing who you are. With the white clouds on your tail, you cannot let that happen. You need to run. Maybe you are thieves after all. Run with the stolen supplies. And that is, what do we lose? That would be a bond. Or 2. This is not what it looks like, your leader bumbles. Realizing that's exactly what a thief would say, let us explain. You don't exactly look like thieves, and the man is not without heart. He will take your payment for the supplies you appropriated, although his fair price is steeper than yours was. You return to your camp well after midnight. Aiolos is waiting patiently. After hearing your tale, he's sure the noose around your necks will tighten, but he is pleased you managed to resolve the encounter peacefully. That is definitely my vibe. So let's go ahead and do that. A supply token. That's fun. And lose a guys. So we go down to 3 guys. A supply token. There's a new token in my books. Okay. Oh, I should have read this a little bit too, which is basically it's the exact same thing, but just kind of like a summary of it. So what we do, and yeah, I guess we should probably read this out. I kind of just did, but we'll read it out just for the sake of things. So we're doing 2. You're not thieves and you're not brigands, and you're certainly not going to solve your problems by running away, like your father had a habit of doing. You need to explain your predicament. You hope the villagers won't turn you in. Explain your situation. This is not what it looks like, your leader bumbles, which, okay, so this part we've already read, so that is fine. So we lose 1. Guys, we gain the supply token, which again, I can't find that. No, this might be this. It might be the same token. I thought that looked kind of different, but I think that is probably it. Mark A1 in the choice matrix. I don't think we have a choice matrix to mark. Unless there's a little teeny tiny one here. Oh, there is. Choice matrix. Little teeny one. A1. Huzzah. And then I don't know what this symbol means. I haven't seen it anywhere in the rulebook yet, so we'll flip ahead and see. Here we go. All right. Boeotian Hospitality is the first of many adventures. Each adventure will introduce a mixture of story, world building, choices, and tests. First, the adventure ended with a firstborn token symbol. You have to pass the firstborn mantle, as there is no prior firstborn. Simply choose one of the Heraclidi now and give them the token. You'll find more details on the subject in box number 46, the firstborn and the firstborn token, but don't sweat it for now. We'll get back to it. All right, so let's just give that token to Roar, because he's got a lovely name. Whenever you arrive at a divergent point in the story, okay, this I'm going to read myself, but again, I think this is one that you can read on your own time and pause if you want to. Same with Journey Pool here. Okay, cool. So it actually does break down the various supplies, and those were the supply token. I was wrong. Having more than 5 tokens in the pool. Cool. So supplies come in 3 varieties. Beast variety, fun. All right, finally, the adventure ended with a symbol, which means this adventure is over and you continue with your round. In the future, this will identify adventure ending paragraphs by the firstborn symbol at the end. After you resolve an adventure, you mark its box on the Oiko sheets in the first appropriate hub track. And to learn to play, there's only one hub, Flight from Boeotia. All right, so there we are. Flight from Boeotia has the first hub marked. Returning to the journey. Cool, cool. That's it for the second day. Let's keep on rolling. The path from your current node leads into the unknown. Fun little nod. Or rather, onto the unrevealed tile. This is both terrifying and exciting. Though you may somewhat guess what's awaiting you beyond your region's borders, there's only one way to be sure. Move along the path onto the adjacent tile. Whenever you move onto an unrevealed tile, you flip it. Do so now. Let's go ahead and flip that tile then. Kind of excited to see what the art switch looks like. Oh, fun. Beautiful as expected. Okay, so I assume we go right there and we get a free thingamajang from it, which is fun. And then those symbols are interesting. Let's go back and read about them. As you can see, there's much more happening on this new tile. Let's unpack it one step at a time. First, the new node shape, Diamond, usually contains valuable resources, supplies, and opportunities. Due to their significance, they are considered seasonal, which is another word for single use. Whenever you reveal a tile, you seed all seasonal, that is diamond-shaped, nodes with appropriate opportunities represented by similarly shaped tokens. Do that now. Place one seasonal Gaia Seed token on each Gaia Seed nodes, a seasonal progress token on the progress node, and seasonal sanctuary token on the sanctuary node. Cool, cool, cool. So 2, 1, and 1. There we go. I feel like that might get a little finicky, but ultimately that is not a big deal, really. I am curious if the map tiles are going to be the same as ATO, because I feel like having the miniature and a bunch of tokens will feel pretty tight, but we shall see. Whenever you're moving onto a tile you've just revealed, you should also place all map tiles adjacent to it. That is all map tiles your new tile points to with its direction arrows. These are placed face down, showing only the numbered back and geographical features. See 42. Let's see, is there anything on this map? Huzzah, just one TO2, which is the last of our tutorial here. So let's just see how that links up. Again, I really like how they've decided to do this. I'm a big fan. Yeah, that's freaking cool. It's one of those things where it's, again, I don't think it's like a necessary thing for them to do, and it is just so pretty and evocative. All right, so Gaia Seed, Hunted Ground, Progress, Sanctuary. Ooh, I guess. I wonder if these tokens are double-sided, because that would be pretty cool. Let's see, are you? Ah, nice. So black means only gainable once, white means gainable more, so you can backtrack and get it again if you want. I like that, simple and effective. All right, so this one, again, free to pause and read, otherwise I'm just gonna read on my own time and you can end, we'll edit it out. Now continue the movement you've initiated. The path you took places you on the white Gaia Seed node. The node you're on is white, which means it's a civilization node. It is a diamond-shaped node, which means it's seasonal, i.e. a one-time use. Oh, ooh, just one time. When you move on such a node, like you just did, you explore it by removing the seasonal tokens. Oh, I was confused there. So white means city, and black means wilderness, and then it's the shape which dictates its use. So my bad there. All right, the symbol on your current node should also be familiar. It represents a Gaia seed. Whenever you explore such a node, providing the token is still there, you will remove the token and gain +1. Do so now and mark the new Gaia seed on your Oikos sheet. That should bring your total to 9 or 11. And just fun seeing the board map there too. Cool, cool, cool. So let's grab you, move us over yonder, and we shall put this away. And get one more Gaia seed. Back up to 9. 9, 9. Finally, as you've moved, you have to draw an exploration card again from the Civilization deck. Card 3 is another Boeotian Backroads. Oh, let's probably draw it. Looks like it is just the exact same. So one more threat. There's something else to read here too. You should be up to 3 threat now. Notice the Ouroboros window now shows a new symbol, blobs. Blobs represents events. That's just what it looks like, clouds. Clouds represents events, circumstances that are more lingering than a simple encounter from an exploration card. Whenever you see the symbol, draw an event card, discarding the previous one, if there was one. Do so now. Draw event card number 4, it's Summer Sun. Great weather for would-be heroes. All right, let's draw this event card. Summer Sun. In Summer Sun do children play. Here you will find immediate journey effects. As long as this card is in play, all skill tests are performed with a +1 bonus. Here you will find persistent journey effects. Here you will usually find an effect gated by your reputation, Oikos Fate, or Oikos Rage. This space will inform you of the adversary's movement. Dun, dun, dun. Cool, so we get to do +1 to all skill tests, because it's a lovely sunny day. Cool, cool. Remain in play until it's replaced by another event card or until some other effect tells you to discard it. I'll read this one out loud just because it is short. Event cards represent lasting effects such as enduring weather or political movements. Each event card has a title. Beside those common elements, each event card is different. Event card effects vary greatly, and some may even be gated by high Oikos Fates, Rage, and Reputation. Unless stated otherwise, an event card doesn't affect battles. Discarded event cards are shuffled back into the deck. That's it for the chapter. Proceed to Chapter 2, Divine Lineage, when you're ready to continue this journey. Onwards! You complained about the Boeotian backcountry. It had nothing on the Oikomenian, dark and dense and confounding. The path you are following is narrow, forcing you to walk in single file. It winds in and out among the trunks, is cut by 1,000 protruding roots, a few slender beams of sun slip through the double canopy of oaks and red maples, and the megalithic trees you have no names for, only unbridled awe. Shade enough for the gods themselves, one of you murmurs. Oh, you're right, another Heraclides remarks. Is this a holy grove, Aiolos? A hint of apprehension in their voices. Are we trespassing? Roll credits. The gods are dead, says Aiolos. I don't think they mind. You did a little. Though the temples of the Olympians have greatly diminished after the eschaton, hardly surprising, seeing the downfall of their patrons, every now and then a wandering priest visited upon your home village to give their blessings, or to doomsay, but mostly to ask for alms. They taught you to respect all that is divine. All that, he says. At that, he says, you were taught many things, I imagine. Even more remain to be learned. Mighty philosophical of him, wise Aiolos. We'll be there soon, he adds. There? Where? He doesn't tell you anything, and you keep following him. Maybe you are as dumb as he sometimes makes you feel. You continue in silence. Gain 2 fate. Move the Oikos fate dial to 2. That we shall. Boom, boom. Yes, okay. Now that you know what the symbol means, pass the firstborn token to the next player in a clockwise order, and that's also the end of the Adventure Time reading time. Cool, cool, cool. So, progress node with a seasonal progress and a progress token. Progress nodes are seasonal nodes, so one-time use that grant you progress tokens. These tokens represent your effort and gathered information and are used for a variety of activities. Chiefly, you'll place progress tokens on story cards, which chart the main story and your main goals for each region. However, you've yet to receive your first story card. So instead, take out the Inward Journey Last Days of Summer tarot-sized card from the game box and place it near the map. You won't get to use it just yet, but whenever you gain progress, you may always place it on an Inward Journey card. See number 44, Inward Journey and Oiko's Knowledge. Do it now. I freaking love me some Inward Odyssey in the base game, so stoked for this. From the box, I am curious. Basic weapons. I'm just going to look around and find this really quick here. Okay, so I don't see this tarot-sized card. Just going to keep reading and see if I can figure out where exactly it is. And I'm going to read this just to myself, so feel free to pause and read along if you like. Okay, so I don't see this card in question anywhere, so my assumption is that that's just in the main game, in like the actual final version of this. Alrighty, so onwards we go. Just as an aside too, if you didn't read this, it's pretty cool. There's I like what they're doing. One part is a little bit confusing, but on the whole, very, very cool. All right, so done. It's time to draw another exploration card, this time from the Wilderness deck. Let's do it. So the Old Forest, and I guess we should scoot ourselves forward here too. Yeah, so we should have done this before anyway. So let's gain that progress, which we've already added to our sheet. Let's put you back. And read the Old Forest. In the absence of civilization, wilderness thrives. Resolve 1, 2, or 3. If threat is 9, 10, 11, 12, or 1. Okay, well, let's go ahead and read the rulebook here, because that is news to me. Yet another card giving you +1 threat. Adjust the dial now. Ouroboros winner shows 4 and another adventure. Before we proceed with that, also note the new peculiar instruction on the expiration card. Resolve, and that looks like the Pursuer, by the way. This is probably adversary move 1 or adversary move 2 if the threat is at that point. Okay, cool. So yeah, adversary symbol. It governs the appearance and movement of the dreaded adversary primordial. Each adversary symbol would move the adversary 1 node toward the Oikos. But if it's already on the map, but only if it's already on the map. If the adversary is not on the map, just like now, you would only need 2 symbols to spawn it. The Old Forest would provide 2 adversary symbols, but only if your threat was 9 to 12, or 1. Your threat being 4, the adversary does not spawn, and the single symbol is ignored. Whew! Your Oikos is nowhere near ready to face an adversary. Good to know. An adversary symbol sometimes conditionally based on the threat value. Sweet. Let's continue to the adventure prompted by the symbol on the Oikos Triskelion. Read monster at the end of the path below. Over the years, the Old Forest has mostly recovered from the Eschaton, but the small symbol of Zeus Eleutherios, the Freedom Giver, hidden deep in its dark interior, still bears its scars. A violent quake has shifted the very ground beneath it, making it rest askew, as if it was a beast clamoring up from the underworld. Broken columns and toppled statues stick out of the scrub like serrated teeth. It looks ready to swallow you whole. We'll stay the night, Yellow states impassively. It looks unsafe, one of you ventures. What? Why? There's obvious curiosity in his voice. It's divine grounds, the house of your father's father, no less. Where else would you be safer than in his loving embrace? Oh, he's mocking you. I'll stand first watch, he says, and orders you to set camp between the temples Anta right on the doorstep. Do not go in. Effigies of Zeus surround you. Even with the beard, the resemblance to Heracles is uncanny. Same stare. You know Iolaus brought you here deliberately, to stir memories of father. See how you react to fear and anger. See if you're going to snap. You promise yourselves you won't give him a reason to doubt your resolve. But this night, the black dream haunts you again. You thought it gone, or rather, that you had left it behind in your home, in your village, with your previous life. Not a chance. Heracles is there, and you are still powerless to stop him. He abandons you with a smirk. Then he descends the black steps of the temple toward what? You are awakened by a terrible howl. You all heard it, except it seems Iolaus, who is fast asleep. Was it a part of the shared dream? You come to the conclusion it was a portent, and that there is no primordial monster, that there is a primordial monster haunting this place. Should you go and look for it? Choose! Yes, the portent was a dare. The monster waits in the bowels of the temple. You need to confront it. Or two, no, it was a warning. Do not follow in your father's footsteps. Instead, you should check the perimeter. Orchomedion is full of predators, and that sounded like a wolf's howl. I mean, that sounds kind of like Garyon or whatever the I've forgotten his name already, but the Orthros Bloodhound. But I think yes, the portent was a dare. I think we need to do that. Enter the temple. You face a courage test. Let's do it. So as an aside, I like that they've always done a good job of showcasing like what the outcome of your choice is going to be before you actually need to read the outcome. And I don't think they did this before, where it says you will face this specific test rather than having to go down to the next section. So I'm curious what that'll look like when you're further in the game, and there's a lot of things to consider, but I like that it's up here, so you don't need to look around quite as much. But we're doing 1. The marble steps inside the temple are not black. They're stained dark red, dried blood. It's possible as no one has come here since the Eschaton. Makes sense. Stories tell that temples were struck first, hard. Then they became nests for the terrible things known as primordials, like the one you're about to face. Courage 17 plus. See the main learn to play text for an exploration on how to resolve the skill test. I cannot remember, so let's see if we can remember. Okay, cool. If you're reading this, you must have reached the skill test. Let's try it now. The firstborn takes 3d10, making sure one of them is the crit die. That's the white die. You are testing courage or fury. At this point, most of you don't have any skill bonuses. You don't have the proper Heracleidae cards yet, but you certainly have 1 or 2 supply tokens in the pool. This means that you're testing courage. Your effective target number is 15 or 16, regardless of who is the firstborn. If you're testing Fury, the target number is 17 plus, unless Shiver is the firstborn. Shiver has a skill bonus of +2 to Fury. So I think we would have had to shift this down to the next person, who is Shiver. Lovely. So we'd have +2 to Fury, but I don't think we're doing Fury. We're doing Courage. So 17 becomes 16, and that is because we have... Apparently this comes into play, and I think we can spend it to make the test easier, and then we also have an additional +1 from the Summer Sun card, too. As an aside, that is some cool looking art there as well, so that's us hanging out in the temple. So roll 3d10, and let's fudge the game. I don't necessarily love the fudging of everything in the learn to play because, in my opinion, I don't know, it's a mix. Like, on one hand, getting guided through everything and then playing through is good, but getting told what to do and doing it, regardless of the outcome, just feels like better learning experience to me. But, like, I get it. Like, it's walking you through all of the stuff, and then you get to play through the stuff after. So, all right. So I do want to roll the 3d10, so let's just see if we would have passed anyways. Okay, so no, we would have not have. That would have been a fail for sure. But let's see what the book is telling us to do. Let's fudge the game as we have it of doing and say you rolled a 1, 4, and 8 for a total of 13 on the dice, and 14 and 16 when applying the appropriate bonuses. Close, but no cigar. Fret not. At this point, you still have options. Just like in battle, you can re-roll some of the dice at the cost of +1 fate per die. Generally, the higher result on a die, the lower effect of a re-roll. Thankfully, you rolled a 1, and from that, there's no other way than up. Gain a +1 fate on your personal Triskelion, which is this person. So let's go ahead and do boom, boom, boom. I guess that should have been reset, actually, because we would have done that fight. So let's just add 1. Cool. All right, well, let's just re-roll a 1. 1 dice, and see what we get with that one. Oh, that's a 10. Huzzah. So you know what? That means we get it. Yay. Okay, really quick, I'm just going to read this one here. Feel free to pause and read, and I'm going to edit out my quiet read of it after. Okay, so 17 plus. Let's do it. Success! You silence the tiny voice in your head telling you to run and make it to the bottom of the stair. There is nothing down here but broken stones and pottery. Rubble bars for the progress. Huh. At least you conquered one monster. Your fear of the unknown. Lose to fate. I think that is that Oiko's fate or personal fate? I think that is Oiko's fate. Go back and finish that adventure. Okay, just gonna read this to myself, and feel free to pause and read along too. Oh, fun. So a little difference here. So this is normal, and then this is gain XP. So regardless, you pass it, and then this one, you gain XP. All right, phew, you're almost done with this chapter of your tutorial journey. However, that last adventure ended with a strange firstborn command. That XP stands for experience points. Whenever you see this symbol, the Heraclides passing the firstborn token gains an experience. You may have gained an experience point by rolling a 10 on the crit guy while passing the skill test, and incurring some hubris from this adventure on one of the cargo delves. You don't have anywhere to mark this experience yet, but if you like, you may keep it in mind for later. Ielos will have some words with you. Whatever I ask of you, you make it a point of pride to disregard, says Iolos. His tone is dispassionate, his voice calm, yet you feel you're being thoroughly scolded. Is it about the temple or the village? Oh. If you are unable to sit still, keep your heads down and follow simple requests, you might as well make yourselves useful. Each of you must have some talents. Let's see them. Do you feel reprimanded? Don't. It's an opportunity to learn about the 12 Sons of Heracles character class system. Last Days of Summer introduces 4 starting classes, each loosely corresponding to functions of a family, or fantasy archetypes. These are the Decider, who shoulders the burden of responsibility, the Protector, whose duty is to defend others from external threats, the Provider, who keeps the ground well fed, well equipped, the group well fed, well equipped, well prepared, and in good morale, and the Guide, who's at the forefront of charting a path forward. You'll gain access to more classes as the game goes on, and there will be even more in future seasons. Now, though, there are 4. One for each Heraclides in the Oikos. That's another thing. There can only be one Heraclides with a given class at any given time. This is because each class fills a specific niche, and running a party of 4 protectors might be fun for a while. The battles would certainly become easier. Your campaigns would falter and fail due to shortcomings on other fronts. That isn't to say that 2 or 4 protectors will be the same. Far from it. Each class offers a wide selection of battle and journey abilities, skill bonuses, and masteries, allowing you to learn different aspects of your vocation. If you want to, you may head over to the storybook, only in the full game, to get your first look at the various class progress trees. Don't worry about all the abilities and upgrades right now. You'll learn about them during your regular campaign. So there's Decider class, progress tree. Protector, I think, would definitely be the one for me. Instead, assign each starting class to a different player / Heraclides, then give those players appropriate black and white Heraclides sheets. You will find one to photocopy at the end of the rulebook, as well as a printer-friendly version. Note, each class has a unique sheet, only in the full game. Good to know. Now that you have a Heraclides sheet, we may finally note the hubris. Heraclides sheet. Do we have a Heraclides sheet? Okay, so I looked around and I do not see this sheet anywhere. So I'm not too sure what to do about this. This might just be a real game thing, or it might just be me being a little on the sleepy side and not seeing something I'm supposed to, because it's not that. Not any of these. It's not that guy. Yeah, not sure. I also cruised through the entire rulebook and didn't see it in there. There's a chance I flipped through it too fast and didn't see, but yeah, I'm not sure about that. I don't think it's on the back of this guy, no. Interesting. Huh. Yeah, I'm not sure about that because I feel like I'll just read the rest of this rulebook and see what happens here. But it looks like things do come into play. All right, so now that you have Heracleides' sheet, we may finally note the hubris and experience you gained thus far. At the bottom of the sheet, you'll find life path for both. You use the hubris life path to note gain hubris, and the experience life path to note gain experience, as well as to chart your character's advancement. We'll leave that last one for later and focus on the other two. Each Heracleides who gained any universal tokens so far, it's going to be at least one, marks that many squares on their hubris life path and discards the tokens. Once you mark hubris, it's time to note the experience points gained in the last adventure by the lucky Heracleides. You always note gain experience with a right-leaning slash. This is because you use a left-leaning slash to spend experience. In other words, gain experience is marked with that slash, while experience is marked with an X. This point have only gained experience, not spend it. So mark that with that slash. Okay, same thing. Just going to read this internally. Feel free to pause now before I skip ahead. Okay, well, yeah, like I don't see that anywhere, so my assumption is that this is part of the official Learn to Play, and it's just not relevant for the digital early release. That's my guess, at least. All right, that's it for this chapter. Proceed to chapter 3, Shoulders of Giants, when you're ready to continue your journey. We could also stop and do another fight here, but I think we're fine. Like, I've already got a decent enough handle on the rules to not bother, and mostly kind of curious about exploring this in its in its entirety is an oxymoron because I'm skipping a fight when I could do a fight, but in exploring what's new and the little story teaser we get. So we're gonna skip ahead here, and I do believe let's skip ahead. Chapter 3, Shoulders of Giants. I think I'm gonna call it there for this time, and we'll pick this up soon because this is cool. It's obviously a lot of reading and figuring out what's new and what's different, but it is cool for sure. I'm really liking what I'm seeing so far. And it's just super lovely being back in the AT world after taking almost a freaking year off after beating Cycle 1. So yeah, feels freaking great. And also a lot smoother, in my opinion, than the enormity TTS so far, but I think that that is literally down to me having a much newer system I'm playing on, which is quite literally smoother. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. Would love to hear what people are thinking of this so far. And I guess this will be coming out before New Year's or around New Year's. So happy holidays and a wonderful New Year's if it's coming up soon or has just recently happened too. Or for anyone who's watching this later too. Much love, and we'll catch up soon. Bye!